What is going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome into the virtual mobile sanctuary of the St. James Show. We even mobile. Not only are we virtual, but we're bringing it right to your doorstep. We're bringing the gospel right to you via mobility. Would you do me a favor and double tap the screen and hit that like button for me? I would appreciate it. What's up, Londa? TGIF. I hope y'all can hear me. How about now? I'm trying to see what colors we wearing for convocation. I heard they need choir members. How about now? No? Okay, you can. Okay, great, 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 great. You trying to see what colors you gonna wear? Y'all ain't got the colors yet? I'm sure y'all got the colors yet. Now it's the 10th. It ain't convocation in about 4 weeks. When's convocation start? When does convocation start? They say a lot of hotels are not open. Is there a problem with y'all having problems? Why are you going out that side door like he's stealing something? Is there a lot of people who don't have rooms, or how's the room situation this year? Usually there is a situation. You said you at the airport, but you ain't headed to Memphis, huh? On November 4th through 11th. Okay, so less than a month. Yeah, so about yeah. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Oh, he was bringing them their stuff. Okay. So they said they looking for choir members. See, Myron's on a tour. He's going everywhere. He going to all these rehearsals and stuff. I guess he's getting ready for the great coronation. So bless his heart, bless his heart. What's up, the sisterhood? Candace is in the building. No list neither. What else gonna do? You ain't got even got no list of songs. Ooh, that's bad. Let me go and do not disturb. Hold on. What's up, Inspire? You say you don't understand because you old time back. Oh, thank you, Londa. Londa's always being so. She likes to start off the money line. So get in line, everybody. Get in line. It's Friday. Get in line, everybody. Follow suit. Follow suit. Londa has started the money. What's up, Tashi? I tell you that Tashi's a wealth of information. A wealth. Well, I got a few people that around that are a lot of wealth of information. A lot of a lot. They can tell you a few things. Double tap the screen, everybody. What is going on this Friday? This Friday. So they don't have colors. Michael Green say they don't have a list of songs. Let's see what musicians he's gonna pick this year. Let me see if Dr. Finney had any effect on how he runs things this year. Oh, she was talking good, always talking real good. We had a good old time. What's up, Courtney? Courtney too, boy. She's a wealth. We had a great Patreon. If y'all are not in Patreon, you are missing a time. In Patreon, just go the St. James Show. Maybe one of the mods will put it in the chat. and I can pin it. More grace, Junior, more grace. What's Karn over there doing? He's kind of quiet. He over there trying to get that other church. He probably working in the background doing that. Everybody's getting new churches, I guess. Make sure this thing don't get hot. There you go. Thank you, Inspire. There is the Patreon, and I'm going to pin it. So make sure you guys are in Patreon. When you don't see us out here, we probably over there. Ooh, that Patreon crew drops gems and boulders and yeah. Courtney, that her benefit of the doubt. She's the most benefit of the doubtest. Well, Adrian Davis, he stole all that, but we got, you know, it wasn't his fault. He just didn't have no more Louis Vuitton luggage. He just needed to get some more luggage. He had to travel for the Lord. Courtney R's got an excuse. There is your ways to support. Thank you, Inspire. Love her though. I seen her favorite person, her and Leah's favorite person, had put another snapper. Let me see what she had said. Gigi, she had said something the other day. She had another short on. I think she's trying to tell y'all y'all need to be more. You need to be more like a snitch. You need to snitch more. I think Gigi was saying that. I think that was the message. Let me see.
Truth is often unpopular and it's costly. Jeremiah's message wasn't easy to hear.
Thank you, Candace.
And it exposed the deception that people did not want to see. Yet he remained faithful. And to me, he proved that standing for truth often means that you may have to stand alone. False prophets often sound good.
Oh, God.
Hananiah's message promised peace and comfort and deliverance, yet it was not from God. It appealed to emotions, not repentance. And unfortunately, we have many false prophets today that are doing this exact same thing. They're saying things that are uplifting. They're saying things that sound good.
Y'all get the gist of it, right? Okay. All right. Thanks again, Candace. Timu Joanne Rosario. That's her. Well, she's doing it what she should have did in the beginning now. She's kind of just putting stuff out. Of course, she's still talking about false prophets, that type of thing. They only false when they stop flying you around and feeding you a filet mignon with a little lobster tail on the side. Then they become false prophets. Who made her judge and jury? Yeah, she's the judge and jury, and she is the evaluator of the true prophets and the false prophets. She's the initial evaluator. So, yeah. Y'all double tap the screen for me. We should have at least, we got 50 people. We should have 50 likes by now. Double tap the screen. The fair is in town. Some of my friends want to go to the fair, and some of them want to go out to go to dinner, hang out and chill. That fair don't do nothing for me. And it's all like fried food and stuff. I don't want that stuff. And it ain't like you going to the rides and stuff. Them rides ain't bolted to the ground. You'll go rolling down the river. I'll be rolling down a Fresno Street. Them rides. Didn't they just have something happen not too long ago? She said, "Don't start." Well, you tell her to stop. How about you tell your girl Gigi to stop? Well, no, that's right. She can have her voice. She can talk. She can talk. This is what like I said, this was what she should have did. Just talk. Don't name names. Just talk. Save the women. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. I go to eat. That's about friends. Yeah, that's about all. You go to the fair for. But usually, I just want a corn dog, and I like those soft tacos. those rolled little soft tacos. Come to find out, they got potatoes in them and everything. Them potatoes in there, so they ain't got to give you that much ground beef. Yeah, yeah. It's a trick of the enemy. The trick of the enemy. Very much overpriced. Yes, very much overpriced food. And like I said, I mean, a corn dog is $12. Remember when you go to the fair and a corn dog was like $5, $4, $5. I remember that. Then they went up, and really you have like the regular corn dog like $10, and then they try to give you the colossal for like 12 to $14, and I'm like, y'all crazy. First of all, could somebody tell me what that meat is as in a weenie? What's the weenie meat? Please tell me what that is. What's up, Princess? So I think I'll probably end up just going. We'll probably just end up going to dinner or something tonight. I just don't. I don't want that. I don't want it. I don't want it. Oh yeah, them corn dogs like $12. It's craziness. And they just, they're supposed to be bigger, but very slightly bigger. They're not nothing to write home about. Yeah. hmm But then they have the barbecue. Usually the barbecue is okay, but then I don't want that. I don't want that pork like that. So I really, uh, and I do. Oh, I remember my musician came. We sung at the fair. My group used to sing at the fair until they got really, really cheap and didn't want to really pay gospel. And and I see that there's some other people are singing here at the fair. I think they're singing tomorrow, but they only got an hour. They used to give me 90 minutes. And they gave me a better stage. Um, but then they changed like administration at the fair, and then they really wanted to lowball um, gospel music on the stages. Then they started putting some of it, on other stages instead of like I we were the first ones to open up for like a gospel night we'd had, or Christian night. It was Christian night actually. You ain't gonna say gospel night. And Michael W. Smith, and I had my group open up for Michael W. Smith, and it was my greater my music and arts chapter of the Edwin Hawkins. We did it, and we opened up for Michael W. Smith. And then after we opened up for him, the following years they had us come and do our own set. So because they seen the crowd and everything, that everybody that came out, and that's all what it's all about. They want to see what kind of crowd you can get out to the fair, so they can rob them, sell them $12 corn dogs. Yeah, Philly steak, cotton candy, candy apples, curly fries, funnel. Yep, fried Oreos. Don't forget that mess. And never seen them watch the. Oh, don't even. Oh, Jesus, don't even. Oh God, yes, you right. Ain't seen nobody use sanitizer, wash their hand or nothing. Just nasty. Oh my God. Yeah. So, but after when they changed the administration, and then they really wanted to just throw us a bone, and I had my musicians come from Los Angeles, so I wanted to make sure that the budget was right, and they would actually negotiate the budget with me, and they would, everybody lowballs you, and then I was able to negotiate a better price, because listen, this is it. It's a performance like any other performance at the fair. Don't lowball us just because we're gospel and just because we're black. So, but they finally did, agree to the amount that I want. I wanted to make sure musicians are paid, taken care of, and some other things, but then they wanted to uh cut it down. Really, one year they just cut it out all of a sudden, and the following year they really wanted to lowball us. Well, all we have budgeted for. I was like, oh Jesus. It's like, no, 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 y'all go ahead and do what you're gonna do. And now they got another group, and I'm sure they done lowball that, because that guy who does it, he just loves the stage. So he'll go sing on P Valley stage if you let him. He'll go to all the Queen's Men stage, and bring some singers and bop around over there. He'll do that. But I'm not your bopper. I don't need to bop around. Yeah. So, what's up, Mike Moore? I know it's a hard pass for you now. Oh, it's very hard pass for me now. I'll be like, bye bye, have fun. But down the road in Bakersfield, they seem to have a better thing for gospel. They had CC Winans down there this year. But then they have like a whole gospel day. They get an opportunity for other choirs and things to have a day. See, Fresno won't do that. They won't give gospel a day. Even if it's like, on another main stage. I think if I really fought for it, it probably can happen. Maybe I'll do it next year. I don't know. But I get so tired of singing the same singers. I love them, but it's like I know what your presentation is, and Jesus, it ain't gonna be nothing new. It's like going out to like these little clubs here, like the R&B, the groups that sing R&B or whatever, even them, they singing the same songs, and that's annoying to me. But what's up, April? We have a great turnout at the fair in my city for gospel night. Huge crowd. Yeah, yeah. It's just here. It's just. I think if we actually did a whole night of gospel, might be able to do it. But my city is kind of limited on real good gospel singing. You know, it's limited. We have good singers and things, but it's just kind of limited. And I guess we would probably go the whole entire valley, from kind of closer to the bay, all the way down to Bakersfield. I probably can pull in some people there. But Bakersfield, they got their own fair, so I don't think I would want to do that. But you don't go to nothing local at all. Well, you're in Detroit, Jesse. I'm sure there's a lot of good stuff. Dietrich Haddon has his tour or concert coming up in Detroit, right? The homegrown concert. Hold on, y'all. Why did not? But Detroit should always have some good stuff going on. Jesse just don't be going nowhere. He don't want to see them people. He said, I don't want to see them. They get on my nerves. So make sure you guys are in Patreon. If you're not a Patreon member, hit that link that's pinned in the chat and join our Patreon. What else is going on around here? Matthew Stevenson said he having church outside. And why are you having church outside, Matthew? You don't want to have church inside no more. He don't went over. He going over there to Sounds of Brazil, New York City, New York City, and so that's interesting. He had a little problem over there at the building he was at. Now, I heard some people want to open up some cans of worms. I would advise against it, but I can't tell nobody what to do. But I would advise for people to let sleeping dogs lie. But if you need content, if you need to talk, well, talk. But when, you might tell a little bit too much. You might tell too much. No. There's a major concert coming up in Detroit. Yeah, it's Dietrich Haddon. I'm trying to tell Jesse to get out there. Yeah, Dietrich got that coming on. I want to know how was that outside? How? But you are in a club, but you outside, Nicole. Maybe and city could go join him outside. Kevin Durr. I ain't heard nothing from Citadel. I guess they still over there in that church building. Have anybody been on their Sunday? I haven't been on their Sunday programs. I got to check that out, see if Kevin Bond's still over there in that church. Are they kicking and screaming yet? They've been kind of quiet. I ain't heard nobody hollering. Mm. The reviews are coming in. Tubman's new ministry venue is 1 star. Listen here. Nobody will see those. That Dietrich is good. Let me tell you, that Tubman, y'all. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm telling you, they trying to over spiritualize this thing. They putting her up. She don't know no scriptures, and she's a senior. It's really sad. It's really sad. But them people over there clapping, they over there lifting offerings, trying to get a building, and you started your church, Joel Tubman, deceitfully. You have started your church naming your wife as senior pastor, knowing good and well she will not be the senior pastor, nor is she even a pastor. She takes a mic and she hollers and sings. That's her ministry. Is she going to have an earpiece on while she's preaching and have Joel telling her what to say? What's going to go there? Well, she got something in her belly. Yeah, fish and eggs, and shrimp boils. And in her belly, got the word. She didn't know the scripture. Jesus wept. So y'all go over there if y'all want to for the hype. But God don't bless no mess. That's all I got to say. God don't bless no mess. Start in deceit, start in deceit, lead in deceit. Come on, Inspire. Hit that like button, y'all. Start in deceit, lead in deceit. That's what you do. Pre-recorded. They better pre-record. They better pre-record it. No, she ain't no preacher. Well, I mean, fact of the matter is, well, maybe she got a license from somebody. I don't know, but she's a praise and worship leader. She ain't no preacher. Character on display. She don't know the word. No, she don't know the word. Go back and listen to that sermon on Sunday. He had to feed her the words to a very common scripture. Very common scripture. What's what he doing? So he had to tell her, if you go in there, he had to tell her what scripture, and she was said it all wrong. So it's really a shame. It's really a shame. No oil at all. Why did Dr. Tony Ed recently come back to Oak Cliff Church and now the church is being turned to? Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we know that he had fallen. We know that he had fallen, I guess, some time ago, sat down for a year, and they decided he won't be the senior pastor anymore. His son will. Business, probably. A business move. Yeah. What Patty said. Next cue card, honey. Right. They better have a teleprompter there while she preaching. Beta male punk. Oh yeah, we got to get you out of here. Turn that on subscriber mode, please. Inspire. Uh, what's up, Sean? She in here? Yeah. So yeah, it's really sad. And if you guys want to go over there and go to a church where they start, like Inspire says, you start in deceit, it's going to be led in deceit, and it's going to end in deceit. That's how it's going to be. Because the way they're moving, Since God's nowhere in it, that means they're leaving open. They're leaving it open for more sin to come in. You know, he already had a problem in Oklahoma with the women, and that was a whole situation. So they're leaving it open where, since you started in carnality, it's going to operate in the same way. So there's not going to be any integrity. So you can't tell me anything that these people have a lot of integrity because of how they started it. You don't take those controls on my tab. Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, I can do it. No problem. I can do it. I believe. Maybe not. I think when I do it, right here, right here, right here, so he can go. Never mind. Go. We having Patreon tonight? Probably not. Not tonight. Tubman being removed from Faith Center was a setup that he couldn't start a church as a pastor. I guess that's the since he put it in his wife's name, that's the assumption. None of us has seen a contract. None of us has seen anything, but there shouldn't be an issue you leaving a church or getting put out of church and you starting your own as the senior pastor. Um, but obviously there's a clause in there that says he couldn't start a church, probably a certain time period and certain distance from Faith Center. So that's why he's choosing to put that's deceitful. That's deceiving. And you'll have people who say, well, Hernandez shouldn't have did this and he should have the right to do. You can have the right to do whatever you want to do. But I think with the outside looking in, we know that you guys are full of it and you're putting her as a senior pastor because there's obviously a contractual something going on. It's just very deceitful to me. Very much so. So do what you want to do. These people are just doing church for business, which is whatever it is. Business is business, I guess. There's some fishiness going on. Definitely. Shooting Kojic sent a cease and desist to Bishop Moses Tyson. Lord, yeah, I heard something about that, Rita. Yeah, but Moses he will cry loud and spare not. So, um, you know, go down to Sierra. Just stay here. You can, yeah. Or or if you can, you can get over it. But if not, just stay here. Um, well, this is Shaw. So, okay, never mind. Never mind. Just do what it's gonna do. Yeah, shady business for real. You got to read them contracts with somebody from going on after they leave with me. Yeah. So so Moses Tyson, they don't like anybody who is speaking truth to power. They don't. They don't like anybody who's speaking truth to power. Stop. Stop. Selling going on for the convocation. And that's the thing about it. And that's one reason probably why Patrick Riddick was detoured from doing the interview. But Patrick, then I wasn't going to bring Patrick on here to have him implement himself against Myron Williams, knowing that he's a vice president, and knowing that what the atmosphere right now is with Finney and Williams. I wasn't going to do that. I've never got somebody on my show and railroaded them. But when probably the powers that be told him not to come on the show. Now they'll talk about that. but they won't talk to Finney and talk to other things they should speak to. But I'm sure they were able to speak to Patrick and have him not come on the show, which is fine because I had a feeling he wasn't going to come on the show. I had a feeling that the Holy Ghost told me that he wasn't coming on the show. And when I got the message from him, I wasn't upset. I wasn't anything, and I'm still not upset. I mean, I'll have him on the show whenever he wants to come on the show. But I thought it was a great opportunity for him to come on the show because people would probably think that he's going to just come up here and talk about all the coaching stuff and what's going on. That wasn't the purpose. He is the prince of choirs, so I wanted to talk about his music, and I wanted to talk about and maybe introduce him to an audience that didn't quite know him or knew his music and didn't know he was the one who did it, type of thing. So the unfortunate part, they manipulated him, or you know whatever counsel he received, manipulated him into believing that it was not going to be good for him, and it was going to just further get into the crates of Myron and Finney and the Sheard and all that. And no, that wasn't the direction that I would go into. And it's not a direction I would ever go into, interviewing someone who may be surrounded of. I introduced Finney because that was the subject. That was the subject. She knew what she was going to talk about. I knew what she was going to talk about because that was the thing, what that was going on. With Patrick Riddick, we were talking about music. You said, but never mind. We in front of company. So I'm just, what's up, Ben the boss? I have noticed a whole bunch of problems with the music department. And I honestly believe it's time for a new music department. Well, a lot of people feel that it's time for a new music department president. Um, we will see what happens in this convocation. People have said they still don't have music. They still don't have. Colors that they're wearing and things like that. So I don't know. It was just reported to me, but I don't know if there's any truth to that. But if that is truth, I mean, that really shows. I mean, you have a whole year to get this thing together, and people ought to have what they're singing, what they're wearing, so they can properly prepare at least 2 months in advance. At least 2 months in advance. Jake's. Well, we talked about Jake's earlier this week. It probably was on Sunday when I told y'all they was all sitting at the table on Sunday trying to get a nice little photo op, after he had that medical scare. But they were trying to convince the world that he's fine and everything. The fact of the matter is, Bishop Jakes is not fine. A prophet gave me a timeline that if anything ever happens or whatever, I'm gonna see if the prophet is right. But Bishop Jakes is he's not well at all and hasn't been well for years. I know what the problem is. Hit that like button, everybody. Double tap the screen. Judy was the girl. Yeah. Judith had the choir singing like angels. There's a certain way that a conference choir ought to present. There's a certain way it ought to present. And I haven't seen the choir present that way since Judith is gone. You don't have to be like Judy, but I think you ought to have the same professionalism and decorum that Judy presented. level of leadership he presented. Uh-oh. The music department was okay before he came. It wasn't like Judy was it though. Jakes is very weak when he was in at Karn and led the Potter's house installation. He didn't know. Looked like he should have been there. Jake should be at home sleep at all. He should be at home sleep. I'm gonna take these out and let me tell me if you guys can still hear me. You guys still hear me? Voice function connection. I want to see something. I think I got enough juice till I get home. I'll be able to plug it up, and then I don't have to use these things anymore. But somebody said, Princess said, how long is it going to take? What's it going to take? Yeah, I guess the whole building has to be burnt down before any action will take. He has to kick out the right person. He has to disrespect just the right one for Bishop Shear to act. And I think they're probably going on, well, it's just one person or it's just this, and we're not going to let the social media and people tell us how to lead. Okay, we're trying to give you some insight of what's going on. If you don't want to listen to it and you're just going to wait till it all just crumbles down, didn't be my guess. But I guarantee you this, if that music department crumbles down, Bishop Sheard's election is over. Don't even run next time. If that music department falls, his tenure as presiding bishop is going to fall to the ground as well. That is not going to work. That's not going to happen. We're already, we're dealing with the Mormons. We're dealing with the other issues that he has, and now you're going to allow the music department to go to hell in the handbasket because people egos and people's pride won't let them just acknowledge that a mistake has happened. And we're dealing is packing up his office. He's ready to move into the presiding bishop office. He's packing up his stuff. He's ready to go. He's ready to go. Mm. I hope I can keep a little bit more juice. Yeah. He don't Bishop shit. One thing about Wooden, we at least we know, at least we're aware where Wooden stands. At least we know where he stands. because he's verbal. He talks. He shares it with everybody. We may not like what he says, but we know where he stands. Do we know where Bishop Sheard stands? Go. Let's go. Let's go. Do we know where Bishop Sheard stands? Not really. Oof. I know y'all. It's a bumpy ride. Just I'm almost home. Woo, Jesus. Yeah, I know he's your bishop. Be on point too. Well, I don't know about that. Talking about the music department be on point if Wooden was over it. Oh, for what? I ain't heard nothing spectacular come out of his church. At least we knew. At least we had wonderful music come out of Bountiful Blessings over there. Sorry, y'all. These I know these. This is the most horrible drive I ever been on. I know. I'm sorry. Drive to stand on the Bible. Yeah, okay. Well, this ain't about Wood and Dion. Go, well, Dion. Why don't you go get you a podcast? Get on the podcast with Wooden and his son, and y'all can go over there and stroke each other's egos, and pat each other on the back. This ain't about Wooden. Go on over there and get you a Wooden page and talk about him all day long. Dream him, think about him, pray on him, lay prostrate. Wouldn't. He would love that. Now he from the house of, oh yeah, he definitely is from the house of Charlie Kirk. You got that right. Boy, you gonna hit this doggone thing. You bet not hit this thing. Because we are not thinking of it. No, not at all. You didn't need to go all the way down like that, but okay. I might make it home safe, y'all. I might. Pray for me. Oh, Jesus. This first. But anyway. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens at convocation. Who's this? Oh, hold on, y'all. Bishop. I am good. How are you? It with who? Yeah, and yeah, it was very good. I was on there listening last night. I was shocked to see you and Clarence McClendon on there. Oh wow, that was great. It really was. Of course. Well, Bishop, are you in a place where I can call you back in about 10 minutes? Okay, but yeah, give me about 10 minutes. All right, bye bye. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Trying to tell people. Trying to tell people, y'all. Folks need to go and mind their business. Folks need to mind their business. Mm-hmm. Gotta get into yours. You don't. You don't mind your business. Ain't that how that work? Ain't that how that work, y'all? Mm, mm, mm. Where is my let me see it. Mm. What's up, Roslyn? Patch need to be over the music. Yeah, because we are not there. Okay. So, what is everybody's plans tonight? Are you planning to go out? Are you going to a shut-in? Are you going to a Bible study? Are you going to stay home and watch movies? Listen here, I've been trying to watch that Ed Gein. Woo! I don't I don't know if my nerves can take that. That Ed Gein mess is a mess. I only got like half of number two. And I couldn't take no more. Mind your business. That's right, Mary Mary. Tell these folks, mind your business, because if you mind your business, then we won't have to get into yours. Nobody has to get in your business if you mind in your business. And sometimes other people's business ain't your business. Oh yeah, that series is intense. I only got through half. I did the first one, and then I'm at half of the second one. And I keep talking about, okay, I'm gonna go back and look at it. I'm gonna go back and look at it. I ain't went back and looked at it yet. I get up at 3 a.m. All of a sudden, I'm essential. Yeah, you'll be watching the Braxton. I only made to episode 3. I was going to try to remain this way. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to push it. Trying to push through. Storm to Miami, so I am shut in. Oh God. Well, they putting out them reduction in workforce. They sent that out right before we all left work today. They done people got their letters. They getting out of here. Not only have you been furloughed, but you've been terminated. Oh, I tell you, we have an administration, y'all, that is beyond understanding. It is beyond understanding. Nothing surprises me anymore. After they told me I got to go to work and I ain't getting, well, I guess I'm getting paid. I don't know. Who knows? We don't really know if we getting paid or not, or when we getting paid, or how we getting paid. Who knows? I have no idea. At this point, it's whatever. I'm gonna do my big beats. I bought busted my. Oh wow. I studied it for my master. Oh, did you? Mm. You're on episode 5 of Edgy. Okay. Yeah, you're on episode 5. Yeah, I am. Oof. I guess I'll try to finish something. Maybe some of it. It's just, it is Columbus Day on Monday, so I'll be off work on Monday. But I'm not. Now I got to do some real estate stuff on Monday for sure. But I'll be off my regular job on Monday. So yeah. But they are starting to fire more people, reduction in force for the government. So that is coming out now, and of course they sent the email out on today, right before people were off of work, or right before people were going to get off of work. So it was already swirling on Twitter, and then they came out, or X. Then they came out with the emails today. So they're getting rid of more people. Yeah. We will get paid after and should get a piece of the check today. You think we'll get a piece of the check today? God will provide. Yes, He will. Yes, He will. Yes, He will. And like I tell people, I mean, if you live right, heaven belongs to you. If you live right, heaven belongs to you. And God does it, heaven's on earth. Then they said, treat your neighbor right. Heaven belongs. The thing about it, if you strive for the right, God will. Lynette Hawkins Stevens, not that one that didn't find me no seat over there in Nashville. The real Lynette Hawkins Stevens. She said, God will take care of you. I am not worried about these people. If I got it, I'm like, okay, I got retirement and everything else. So you want me to leave? All right, no problem. Yeah. People need to step. Yeah, yes, the 7 days we worked in this pay period. Oh, okay. It's so heartbreaking. It is. It really is. And Tashi, we've been trying to tell these people, stop being so lackadaisical and so comfortable when things seem to be going okay. You have to think about when things may be a little disturbing, things may be altered. Think about that. I'm telling y'all, figure out what else you can do. So when one stream ends, you're able to pick up something else and run with the torch. I'm telling you, as soon as the shutdown happened, a client called and said, "Can you please put my house on the market?" You see how God works? But had I not thought about what else can I do besides what I've been doing, I would be sitting over here in a shutdown talking about I have no way of paying my bills a month from now, a week from now, a couple of months from now. And some people, if you get behind, they cannot, you know, they never get back together, you know, they never catch up. But a client called and said, Kenny, and I said, yeah, definitely, of course, let's do it. And met with them yesterday, and we're making it happen. You have to think ahead, y'all. You got to think ahead. Active hospitality and barber instructor. Yes, sir. And with social media, Rita, you get that social media fired up. You get to taking some pictures of your work and all that, and you start pushing that thing out. You need your hair done because hair is always going to have to be done. Always. That is a secure check. Even if you got to make a hot 50, a hot, well, that's with men, but with women, I mean, y'all can charge what, 200 plus? It's a poor mouse. True, it is a poor mouse with just one hole. My God, it's a poor mouse with just one hole. Ooh, it's just an old good saying. Yeah, yeah. Really years ago, to have multiple streams of income. Yeah, it is. These are the times, y'all. These are if never been a time where you need to figure out what else you can do. This is the time. Figure that thing out. I need to figure out what you can do. No, that light's not on. Hold on, y'all. It's looking dark. It's looking too dark. Happy Friday, Brent. Thank you for the encouragement. Been at it 50 years in DC. Let me tell you, and it don't even matter the style that you do, Rita. There is somebody that is in need of what you do. I don't think you got to do this new stuff, and well, it's wonderful because it's not an age thing when it comes to a cosmetology. But some women and some men cut and do things and do a certain way, and there's always somebody who needs that way. So I'm telling you, all you got to do is use this marketing tool that we have now, this free marketing tool, social media, and make it happen. hmm Your home is paid off. Good, good. And renovation almost done. So no extra bill. That's great, Rosalind. We are yet praying for you, Rosalind. We don't even want to say the word. We gonna curse the word of because you are overcoming. Yeah. hmm Want old school. The seasoned girls want old school. That's right. And pay you well because they got that old school money, Rita. They don't have that new money, that Gen X, Gen Z money. No, no, no. AI is my friend. I'm like Blackbird. AI is your friend. Let me tell you. Yeah, yeah. So it's really good, y'all. When I seen that email come out and had to tell my team, listen, y'all just got the email too, but see y'all next week. Sometimes your hobby will have to become a major part of your lifestyle and extra side hustle. Listen, I'm in a hobby pray era. Y'all know my testimony. I just got on this thing talking about a hobby. And this hobby has led to ways where I'm able to do things with this hobby that I probably didn't do previously. So it's speaking of that, I just thought about something. I don't know if I just thought about something. I'll have to check that out in a minute. Because I do not want nothing to happen there. Get on there and do that. Thank you. Mama paid it off years ago. Very smart woman. And then it sound like she didn't go back and try to get a whole bunch of refinances on it, refis. And then sitting there, now you owe all this money because people do that. They pay it off and then they get a bunch of refinance and stuff. So that's not good either. Not LA Court. I don't want to look at that. What is hmm, other passwords? Hmm. Hold on, y'all. Fidelity. There it is. I think that's it right there. Hmm. Yeah, so yes, bless your hobby, and I'm glad about it. Yeah, me too. I'm so glad about that, Rita. The Lord for my home is paid. Oh, look at that! Look at these folks with these paid off homes. Verification email. Where's my other phone at? Where's that going? I gotta figure out what email is that. I don't even know. I don't even know. Where's my other phone? All right, y'all. I have to get off of here. I got to get off here, take care of some stuff. But hope everybody has a wonderful Friday evening. Double tap the screen for me if you have not. Thank you, those who sent super chats. All right. I appreciate you guys for always supporting the St. James Show. If you would like to do any further support, $ the St. James Show. That'll be able to do that, or the St. James Show at att.net for Zelle, Venmo, the St. James Show, PayPal is the email as well. Yeah, I know. I got to call the bishop right now. That's why I'm gonna do that right now. All right. So I appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Have a safe one. And don't worry, be happy. All right.